Dark Souls 3 is overrated. I've been playing Souls games for a few years and Dark Souls 2 is my favorite Souls game of all time. However, I've never been able to play any game that came after Dark Souls 2 because my PC was simply too bad. So after hearing Dark Souls 3 fans trash on my favorite game and praising Dark Souls 3 like it's flawless, I finally played it myself. And honestly, my first few hours made me think Dark Souls 3 is insanely overrated. Now let's talk about the early game. The tutorial boss and Vort were way too easy. Don't get me wrong, they were a fun fight, but they were extremely easy. Apart from that, the exploration also felt super linear because most of the loot parts were just dead ends. Like, dude, I'd be exploring an area and I'd find just like a line of enemies leading up to one item, and 9 times out of 10 that'd just be a soul item or some shit, you know, some useless bullshit, right? And lastly, I felt that this game had a lot of the same problems as Dark Souls 2 in that there's a bunch of useless ganks, right? And I hear so many Dark Souls 3 fans say Dark Souls 2 has too many ganks, it's buggy and all of that bullshit, when the same thing goes on for Dark Souls 2. And before you even mention shitty hitboxes, your next boss is Cursed Rotted Greatwood. It's such a shitty boss, like, brother man, you can only hit its fucking pimples. I have no words, bro. Dark Souls 2 gets criticized for like enemy spam and all of that bullshit, but like Dark Souls 3 has the very same things, if not worse. It has shitty bosses too. The first 3 are just mediocre bosses. Now, the Cathedral of the Deep is an insanely stupid because it's a grand area, right? And you go through a lot of the area, part of its castle. It's a lot, like, it fixes upon a lot of the exploration problems I had with the game, but then it just ruins it with the literal second generation of Prowling Manus in the Congregation. It's the same boss, but it's just more retarded. Like, Deacons of the Deep is a dogshit boss, you cannot tell me otherwise. And again, Dark Souls 2 gets shit on for that, but Dark Souls 3 also has bosses like now that. Another boss I just hated was Crystal Sage. She was too easy. I first tried her as well. For a game that's been touted about having so many good bosses, perfect bosses, flawless bosses, the first few bosses in the Dark Souls 3 does have better boss flow, smoother combat, it's more aggressive, and I must say the Abyss Watchers, when I fought them, I came in my pants. They felt like a perfect duel, especially phase 2. It felt like Fume Knight if Fume Knight was a little more aggressive, a little more fast with a slightly better moveset, and I don't know, it's extremely fun. And the combat, I touched upon it earlier, but I was using an alternate, and just getting one singular hit down on the boss feels amazing. It feels like an achievement, and I love the boss, and I love the combat, especially Ultra Greatswords in this game. Now, the Smoldering Lake. This is a dogshit area. I mean, there's a giant crossbow, there's basilisks, there's so many goofy enemies with spears, with axes, fire mages. Dude, Miyazaki probably just had a wet dream about fucking pissing the player off, made it into an optional area and called it a day. Like, oh, let's add this doohickey and this fucking shitter with this, it's just retarded. It's a lot of this area is unfair in my humble opinion, right? And then you have the old Demon King, the boss of this area, who had dogshit cameras. I don't know why it gets praised. Yes, it has good movesets, but it does an insanely high amount of damage considering you find it very early into the game if you explore like me. And it does too much damage. It has and its camera, like, it makes your camera in such weird positions, and also it gets a cheap little kill on you, you know, when it's 1 HP you go towards it and you just self-explode. As soon as I entered Erithil of the Boreal Valley, I felt a tone shift in the game that this game was gonna get serious or real now. Pontiff was 100% the turning point. He was a truly hard and fair boss, and I fought him with no armor and an ultra great sword. I was getting too shot by most of his attacks, and I had to learn perfect dodge timing, and like every 10 perfect dodges I could hit him once. Pontiff, and the entire area in general. I feel like Erithil of the Boreal Valley had enough different areas to explore, and a lot of it did not follow tropes of just a soul item. However, there were empty rooms in random places, and the level was still really linear. But what really sawed in Dark Souls 3 for me was as soon as I beat Pontiff, I clear these two fuckers, and I see Anna Orlando, like the archers fucking me in the asshole again. That shit hit nostalgia like it was insane, like seeing the archers, and then I realized, this is Anna Orlando. Because like I'd never been spoiled about this before, you know what I mean? Insane.
You are a what?